Welcome to my another lecture of mathematics of class 12 of the chapter relation and function. Here in this video, that means in this lecture, I am going to explain one question where you have to check the inversibility of any function. That means the question is given that f is a function from real number to real number we defined as f of x equal to 10x plus 7. We have to show that the given function is inversible. And if the inverse of the function exists, then we have to write down the inverse. Or we have to find out the inverse of the function. Okay, listen. First of all, in the previous lectures we have got that whenever we have to say the inversibility of any function, we can use, that means we can say that whenever a function is bijective, that means one and on to both, then the function is said to be inversible. That means to have the inverse, the function should be one and on to both. But in the last lecture, we have got that without checking the one and on to condition also, we can easily discuss the inversibility of any function. That means how can you find out the inverse of any function? That means in the last lecture, we have discussed that whenever the composition of two functions is an identity one, that is if the composition of two functions is an identity, maybe f naught g or c naught f, then one of them is going to the inverse of the other. যেতিয়া এটাক আনটো ইনভার্স বুলি কোৱা হয় কেতিয়া যেতিয়া এটা ফাংশন বা দুটা ফাংশনৰ কম্পোজিশনটো যদি আইডেন্টি ফাংশন লিখা বিহেভ কৰে আইডেন্টি ফাংশন means whatever the dominant element you will consider for that dominant element you will have the same range element. So then in that case we can say that g is the inverse of f as well as the inverse of g. So now here in this lecture we are not going to discuss the one and onto condition. Instead of discussing one and onto condition, we are going to use the composition function property. Okay. So let's start. So here solution. Here question is given that given what is given to us? Given f is a function from real number to real number defined by. It is given as defined by f of x is equal to 10x plus 7. Okay, so the diagram will be like that. Suppose a function f is given from a to b. Here in place of a r is given, that means set of real numbers is given to us, and in place of b also the set of real numbers are given to us. Now f is a function from a to b. Under the function f, what is the image of y? The image of y is f of x, or we can say that f of x is represented by y, and which is given as, or you can say that image of x is y, which is equal to f of x. You can say that, and here it is given 10x plus 7 by, or 10x plus 7. 10x plus 7 is equal. So listen carefully. That means under the function f, what is the image of x? The image of x is y, or it is known to you, y can also be written as f of x. And here f of x is what is given? 10x plus 7. Whatever may be the element you will consider, that means whatever the real number you will consider here in this place of x, for that real number you will have the image using this property. Using this property you can easily find out the image of that number. Now listen. We have to consider, we have to seek the inversibility function of f as well as we have to find out the inverse also. Let us consider a function g from b to a. If f is a function from a to b and if g from b to a is defined, then g will be considered as the inverse of f. Ulta processorizer has g to mass ke kami inverse hisabe consider kori. Ulta processorizer go pra আহিব লাগিব b পৰা a. Here a and b are both are same set, real number. So first of all, what you have to do? Let z is a function from real number to real number. For your simplification purpose, let us consider this one is r1 and r2. Then z will be defined from what? r2 to r1. But remember, r1 and r2 both are the set of real numbers. Just for simplification or just for understanding purpose, I have considered this one as r1 and r2 so that you can easily understand properly what is the first thing to be considered. We will consider a function z from r2 to r1. We don't have any idea that z is inverse or not. To be inverse, what is the main condition to be satisfied? Their composition should be identical. And remember that whenever a function is defined, always one condition will be given to us. যেতিয়া এটা ফাংশন ডিফাইন কৰা থাকে সদায় এটা কন্ডিশন দিয়া থাকে under which condition x will be related to y x এ কোনবিলাৰ এলিমেন্টৰ লগত ৰিলেটেড থাকিব সেই কন্ডিশনটো হলে দিয়া থাকিব হলে দিয়া থাকিব so that's why it is given to us 1 কনসিডাৰ কৰি তুমি কিমান ইমেজ পাবা 5 কনসিডাৰ কৰি ইমেজ কিমান হ'ব that condition should be given in the same way whenever we have considered z from b to a that is from r to r1 then also the condition should be mentioned under what condition ইয়াতে এই condition তোমাকে মেনশন কৰিব লাগিব যেটো condition under ইয়াৰ এলিমেন্ট বিলাকে ইয়াৰ এলিমেন্টৰ লগত টাই আপ হ'ব that means ৰিলেশন থাকিব and that means you have got it under the function z y will be considered as a for z y will be the domain element am I correct for z b is the first set and a is the second set what is the image of y under the function z the image of y is x but remember if x is written here it is known to you whenever x is written here whatever maybe the expression will be there on the right hand side it will be an expression of x ইয়াত যদি কেনেবাকে x লিখা আছে তাহলে রাইট হ্যান্ড সাইডৰ এক্সপ্ৰেশন টু মাস্ট বি x ৰ এক্সপ্ৰেশন হ'ব লাগিব এখানে ইয়াত ফাংশন অফ x যদি ফাংশন অফ y বুলি কওঁ y should be there then the expression should contain y okay so here also what is the symbol here y that's why you are not supposed to write on x here তোমালোকে x লিখিব নোৱাৰিবা you have to express x in terms of y তোমালোকে x of y express কৰিব লাগিব how can you express y x in terms of y that means here y what is the image of y the image of y is x under the function z but as listen if you observe তোমালোকে ভালকে চালে দেখিবা whenever x has to find out its image under the function f then f1 under x or image to find out কৰিব লাগে generally y is the image of x but y is expressed in terms of x in the given question তোমালোকে মন কৰিলা নে f4 under যেটা আমি x or image বিচাৰিছো আমি জানো যে x or image to y হয় কিন্তু y টো x or express কৰি থোৱা আছে কোৱেশ্চনটো in the same way here we are going to find out the image of y আমি y image to বিচাৰিব গৈছো what is the image of y x under the function z but here also we have to express x in terms of y আমি ইয়াত x of y express কৰি ৰাখিব লাগিব কেনেদৰে express কৰিছো very simple procedure the f of x is given to us f of x is equal to what 10x plus 7 am I correct now you have to simplify it is known to you f of x is equal to y am I correct 10x plus 7 from here after having the simplification of f of x considering f of x equal to y we will have x is equal to y minus 7 by 10 am I correct so this is the value of x is it clear that means in place of x you can consider y minus 7 by 10 that means we are not going to write down this one y minus 7 by 10 have you got it you have function f is given to you you have the function f 10x plus 7 now we have considered let us consider a function z from r2 to r1 such that z of y is equal to y minus 7 by 10 so no need to consider this one okay be a function now we are going to find out the composite of these two it is known to you whenever the composition of these two is an identity z not f then the function z that you have considered yourself যেটো তোমালোকে z নামৰ ফাংশনটা যেটো নিজে কনসিডাৰ কৰি লৈছা ন এই ফাংশনটো f ৰ কি হ'ব ইনভার্স কেতিয়া যদি তাহাতৰ দুটা ফাংশনৰ কম্পোজিটটো কিমান হ'ব লাগিব আইডেন্টিটি হ'ব লাগিব আইডেন্টিটি কাক কয় তুমি যেটো ডোমেইন এলিমেন্ট লবা সেইটো তোমালোকে ৰেঞ্জ এলিমেন্ট হিচাপে হ'ব লাগিব correct so now let's try to find out its composite now z naught f of x is a domain element so here which one function is the first function f function is the first function তেতিয়াহলে ইয়াৰ x to কৰ পৰা আহিছে ইয়াৰ ডোমেইনৰ পৰা আহিছে ইয়াৰ ডোমেইন মানে কাৰ ডোমেইন হ'ব f ৰ ডোমেইন what is the domain of f real number that means x must be a real number now according to the definition of the composite function it will have z of f of x what is the value of f of x here what is the value of f of x 10x minus is it clear 10x plus 7 very good 10x plus 7 so now already I have told we have discussed one question of this type as in place of x one comparatively large expression is there so let us consider or let us represent it by p what is p p is equal to 10x plus 7 now if you observe carefully you will get that this is just like a z of y am I correct here z of y is there but we have got g of p if z of y is equal to y minus 7 by 10 then z of p is equal to wherever y is there jote y আছে তোমাকে p লিখি দিবা p Come, you have to find out g of p. So p minus 7 by 10, correct? It will be p minus 7 by 10. Okay, now I am going to simplify. What is the value of p here? P means what? P means क्या पाया था? P means 10x plus 7. This one is 10x plus 7 minus 7 by 10. Plus 7 minus 7 cancel. What is the answer? X. Is it clear? That is, whatever domain element you have considered, you have got that element as a real element. And this is an element of the domain of f. What is the domain of f? Real number. That's why you should have to write down as I of r. Identity function. What is the domain element here? Domain set here. Real number. In the same way, we are going to find out their inverse composite. That means f naught g we are going to find out. Okay. So what is the composite of f naught g? Maintaining the same procedure. So let us try to find out f naught g. F naught g means also f naught z of, suppose let us consider this one as y. You can consider x also. What is y? Y is the domain element. Which one is the first function? Z is the first function. That means y belongs to the domain of z. Z domain. What is the domain of z? R. So let us try to simplify. So g of y, correct? F. G of y means what? Y minus 7 by 10. Again, here in this place we have got a comparatively complicated term, but here p is equal to y minus 7 by 10. Is it clear? So we have got this expression. Now let us try to simplify. This is just like as f of p. Am I correct? F of x only can over numbers also. F of x. F of x equal to this one. 10x plus 7. That means f of p is equal to 10p plus 7. So what is the value of p? Y minus 7 by 10 plus 7. 10 cancel, plus 7 minus 7 cancel, it will be y which is equal to identity of y. Am I correct? That means we have got that both f naught g as well as g naught f satisfy the identity property. That means f naught g is equal to I of r equal to g naught f. In both cases we have got the identity function. That what can we conclude? That means আমি কি কব পাৰো যেটা দেখো দুইটা ফাংশন যেটো ফাংশন আমি জি কনসিডার কৰিছিলো তাৰ লগত f ৰ যেটো কম্পোজিট হ'ল f naught g আৰু g naught f তাৰ আইডেন্টিটি প্ৰপাৰ্টি স্যাটিসফাই কৰিছে তুমি কবা যে যেটো ফাংশন আমি কনসিডার কৰিছো the function that we have considered ourselves z is nothing but the inverse of f e f or inverse of. Have you got it? Procedure is very simple. F will be given to you. You have to consider one function yourself. তোমালকে নিজেটা ফাংশন কনসিডার কৰি লবা. G of y obviously is x হ'ব লাগে. G of y equal to x. কিন্তু মই x ক কিমান এক্সপ্ৰেস কৰি লৈছো তোমালকে নিজে দেখিছা. x টো তোমালকে মন কৰিছা নে বাইটো কি এটো? আমি ফাংশনটোৰ পৰা x ৰ ভ্যালু উলিয়াই লম সদায়. Anyhow you will find the value of x and you have to place it here. That place কৰি লবা. That means you have got a new function with a proper statement. Now we are going to find out a composite f naught g as well as g naught f. Okay, after finding the value of f naught g and g naught f, if you are getting that they satisfy the identity property, that means whatever domain element you will consider, after having the simplification, you will have the same element as a range element. তোমালকে কবা তেতিয়া that the function that you have considered ourselves z is nothing but the inverse of f. এটাকে মই লিখি দিম দেখিছা নে? সো মই এটা লিখিব গৈছো f f naught z is equal to I equal to z naught f. Both the function is I r. Then therefore z is the or therefore f is inversible. F is inversible and z is the inverse of f. F is inversible and z is the inverse of f. Am I correct? And it is also given to find the inverse of f. You have to find it out. And the inverse of, I think you have got my point. F is inversible and z is the inverse of f. And the inverse of f is. And the inverse of f is. What is the inverse of f? Z. That means inverse of f is z. That is z equal to what? F inverse. Am I correct? What is z? Z is the inverse of f. F inverse korile tar kar actually z hoy. That means z is nothing but f inverse. That's why I have written f inverse. That is f inverse is the function from real number to real number. Z is different from real number to real number. Z is the inverse of f. That's why in place of Z I have written f inverse from real number to real number such that f inverse of y, that is in place of Z I have written f inverse. This is y minus 7 by 10. Very simple procedure. That means you have got that whenever a function will be given to us without checking the one and on two condition, how can we check the inversibility of any function using composition? So f function f is given to us. We have considered function z in the reverse way. Let us try to find out their composition. If they satisfies the composite property, that means additive property, then z will be considered as inverse of f, and the new function will be f inverse from real number to real number. Z is the inverse, so that's why in place of z I have written f inverse, which is from real number to real number such that f inverse of y is equal to y minus 10, y minus 7 by 10. I hope you are getting my point. So if we consider another different functions, suppose just consider another function. Here two different types of questions are there. Somewhere you may get a linear f 10x plus 7, one another is quadratic. Suppose the function is given like that. The question is given from natural number to natural number. Natural number to h. F of x is equal to, suppose it is given that 4x squared plus 12x plus 15. So that f is inversible and find the inverse. What is s? S is the range of f. Suppose this one. Question is given this one. I hope the same question is given. What are the steps? First of all, we will consider a function from s to n in this way. Z from s to n we have to consider. Okay, such that already we have got that g of y is equal to 1. We have to consider g of y is equal to x. But as y is written there, you are not supposed to write on x. You have to convert or you have to replace x by the expression of y. I mean x of y expression are replaced koribo lagibo. That means you have to express x in terms of y. Etu kopra koriba. Obviously we are going to find out the value of x from here. Ami yar pora we try korim. What is f of x? F of x is equal to 4x squared plus 12x plus 15. Am I correct? This one is given to you. Now we are going to simplify in such a way that you will get the value of x. So f of x equal to y, it is known to you, 4x squared plus 12x plus 15. Am I correct? Now write down all those terms in one side. Plus 12x plus 15 minus y equal to 0. If you compare properly, if you observe properly, then you will have that this is nothing but a quadratic expression. Am I correct? Quadratic equation. So what is the mean variable? Mean variable x. How many values we will have for x? It is quadratic. That's two different values of x we will have. So if we compare with this standard quadratic equation, x squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, then we will have 4x squared plus 12x plus 15 minus y equal to 0 is the standard form. A is equal to 4, b is equal to 12 and c is equal to 15 minus y. To solve, that is to have the value of x, either we will apply midterm taking method. If it is not possible for us to apply midterm taking method, we are going to apply quadratic formula. So here in this case we are going to apply quadratic formula. So what is the standard quadratic formula? So x is equal to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2ac. Anyhow you want to find the value of x. X because you have to put it here. Okay, so minus b means what? Minus 12 plus minus b squared is 144 minus 4ac means 15 minus 1, correct? 2 4 are 8. So minus 12 plus minus, it will be 144, correct? Minus 16 into 15 plus 16y. Is it clear? So it will be what? 8. So what are the steps? First of all, you have to consider f of x. Replace f of x by y. In case of quadratic, যদি quadratic হয় তাহলে তোমাকে একটা extra value connect করে দেবা. That's why consider করিলা, write down all those terms in one side. It will be x squared plus bx plus other terms will be considered as c. Apply quadratic formula, so we'll have the value of x. So what is the value of x then? The value of x is equal to what? Minus 12 plus minus 144 minus 6 into 15 means what? It is equal to 80. 6 1 4 2 240. So 240, it will be 240 plus 16y, correct? Then it will be 8. So it will be what? Minus 12 plus minus, it will be 16y, it will be 6 9 96, it will be 8. So I think now we can simplify. 4 will be common from here. 4 minus 12 plus minus 2 square root of 4y. Very good. 8. Correct? Is it correct? 6. 9. 96. Okay. Then obviously 16 will come on actually. So 16 will come on. So 16 will come on. 4 it will have. 16 6. Okay. Now obviously you can take 4 common. So after taking 4 common, it will be cancelled with 8. So we will have minus 3 plus minus square root of y minus 6 divided by 2. That means we will have two different values of x. What are the values of x? One is x is equal to minus 3 plus square root of y minus 6 by 2. Another is minus 3 minus square root of y minus 6 by 2. But remember what is x? X belongs to the set, nested number. Z of y is equal to x, then obviously x belongs to the set of nested numbers. That means nested number can never be negative. That's why we cannot consider this term. Because both the terms are negative, that means overall x will be considered as negative one. That's why you are not supposed to consider x as this one. Then what is the value? The value of x is this one. That means in place of x, you have to write down minus 3 plus square root of y minus 6 whole divided by 2. I think you have got my point. So after getting f of x is already given to you, g of y already you have got it. That means you have considered yourself. Now try to find out the value of f naught g and g naught f. You will have that both of them will behave just like a validity one. That means f naught g is equal to I and g naught f is also equal to I. That means the function z that you have considered yourself is nothing but a inverse of f. আমি যেটো ফাংশন g কনসিডার কৰিছো, কনসিডার নিজে কৰি লৈছো, হেতু f ৰ লগত কম্পোজিট তোমাক আইডেন্টিটি পাবা, তেতিয়াহলে g টো আমি f ৰ ইনভার্স বুলি কনসিডার কৰিলাম. And the inverse of f will be g inverse from s to n such that f inverse of y is equal to this one. Why? Out of these two values, why we have considered this one? Because x is a natural number. This can never be negative. That's why we have considered positive one. Okay, that means in this way. That means now again the question will arise. That means monkey question. That means when a question arises, that means if y will be less than 6, then what will happen? Then it will be a complex number. Suppose y is equal to 5, then 5 minus 6 is equal to minus 1. So it's got a minus is a complex number. Then what about the values of x? Remember, for f of x, that means y is an element of the range set. Y is an element of the range set. Okay, for what is the smallest value of x? X is a natural number, so smallest value of 1, smallest value of x is 1. For x is equal to 1, so what we have? 4 plus 12 plus 15. Am I correct? 15. Is it correct? For x is equal to 1, we will have 4 plus 12 plus 15. That means 16 plus 15 is equal to 31. That means under a function f is defined from natural number to x. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, all those numbers will have. That means what is the first value? That is the image of 1 is equal to 31. You cannot think about all those values which are less than 6 here. That means you cannot consider y which is less than 6. তোমালোকে y value 6 of less than consider কৰিব নোৱাৰিবা, because the value of y starts from 31. Because y is an element of h, that means range set. That means only related elements are there. Got it? আমি y value কেতিয়াও 5 হ'ব নোৱাৰে, y value 6 of সৰু হ'ব নোৱাৰে, y value 7 হ'ব নোৱাৰে. কাৰণ দেখিছানে তোমালোকে আমি 1 to calculate দিছে 31, similarly for 2 you will have the corresponding image, all those related elements are there and all those elements are represented by y. এখানে y value কেতিয়াও কি হ'ব নোৱাৰে, 6 of সৰু হ'ব নোৱাৰে. order. That means there is not any possibility of having a complex number. So in this way, we have to find out the inverse of any function. That means using composition also we can really find out or discuss the inversibility of any function. Clear? So I hope you are getting my point. So thank you so much for being here with me in this lecture. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you.